Well, it's a great evening here at the pitch of Knowles Field, located on the campus of the University of Pacific in Stockton, California. Men's soccer we have for you between the CSU Bakersfield Roadrunners and the University of Pacific Tigers. Both teams looking to get a win here after CSU Bakersfield has lost 2 in a row, the most recently against number 7 St. Mary's Gales, which was a tough defeat. It was a 3-2 loss. St. Mary's, I apologize, they actually only have lost the last one recently. They did win against Sacramento State. They are currently 1-4 on the season. For the Pacific Tigers, they are currently 1-4 as well after dropping the last 2 games. So we will get you started here in just a moment. Tigers lost recently to Oregon State and then at home against UNLV. That loss was a 2-0 defeat. It will be the Tigers that will kick things off, and we will give you the starting lineups. First for the visiting CSU Bakersfield Roadrunners, led by head coach Richie Grant in his 6th season, James Garces in his 5th season, and Chris McGonigal in his 2nd season. In goal, Detre Bell, the redshirt junior. Kendall Burks, on defense. Harry Downing, the defenseman. They also list Kazuke Matsui, the freshman, in defense as well, on the defensive side as well. Carlos Amaderas, Tom Shepard, Nicholas Korber. Korber leads the team currently in goals. He currently has 3. Ryan Goldsmith, a forward. Amon McLaughlin and Ricardo Souza, as well as Niall Owens for the Roadrunners. They're wearing the all-white, blue trim. And blue numbers across their back. For the Tigers, led by head coach Adam Reeves in his 1st season. He'll have Ethan Bondre, the junior goalkeeper. On the near side is Ryan Goldsmith. From the right side, he'll get it across the box, and he'll go high and across, and no one there on the back side. Via Padua. Get it to the back. We'll go towards Emery Rappaport. Brady Graff, Ryan Herr, Andreas Haralambos, who wears the captain's band as well, Jonathan Rico Contreras, Charles Brua, Diego Villapadua, we just mentioned, Jose Angel Reyes, Anthony Orendain. Good to see him back in the lineup. He was suffering a little bit of an injury in the last game against UNLV. Left that game actually pretty early. And he's one of the key cogs in the wheel that will make this team go if he's healthy. In front, shot will go high. At the top of the box.
Anthony, good.
Tigers in the last game had 19 shots, 7 of them went on goal against UNLV, but a great goalkeeping performance kept them out of the scoring column. Gets it away was Bell. Tigers will regain the possession. Possession favoring the Tigers the last couple of matches. It gets in middle to Herr. Herr with a shot, and that will go high, and that will go just to the left of the scoreboard. Yeah, the Tigers in that 2-0 defeat, they outshot. It was 19 shots, 7 of them were on goal, and there was a lot of great saves by the goalkeeper. For UNLV was Lucas Betts. Headed forward and go out for a throw-in for the Roadrunners. Roadrunners will go from left to right.
no problem.
Roadrunners have actually had a lot of big games. They also played Duke in a 2-1 defeat, and they haven't even seen their home field at all this season. That'll change. Actually, won't even change until, though they did have the game against St. Mary's. My apologies. They did have a home game against St. Mary's. So that was the first time that they had it. Other than that, they won't be back home until October. Well, they'll face UNLV. Tigers have a couple of straight matches at home. This is the game 2 of 3. They will also have UC Davis. That will be on Thursday at 7:30 before they hit on the road to Sacramento to take on Sacramento State. In fact, CSU Bakersfield did have their lone victory was against Sacramento State, a 5-2 victory. And a lot of different faces for the Tigers. There's still some familiar ones like Haralambos, Silos, and Anthony Orendain. Ryan Herr, the sophomore who played fantastically his freshman year last year. The sophomore from Sacramento. We'll get it over to CJ's Charles Brua before he gives it to Silos, and then back onto the near side to Rappaport. Rappaport have a little bit of a gap. He'll go ahead and give it back up to Orendain. Orendain matched up by a couple of guys, will give it up, and then actually will be fouling the forward, the midfielder, Amon McLaughlin. McLaughlin will give it up to Goldsmith. Goldsmith and get it taken away. In the front is Roque. Roque will get it to the far side, looking for potentially Jonathan Rico Contreras. Head coach Adam Reeves in his first season, letting the umpires know that, making sure that they're aware of all the rules. He was actually joking around. They had a player, Carlos Almendarez, making sure that he wasn't offsides, the opposing for CSU Bakersfield. Anthony Orendain will give it up to Herr. Herr wants to push it forward, gets it off to Roque. Roque will be called offsides. Two shots early on for the Tigers. Both have gone high, and one of them to the left. One of them was by Roque, and the other one by Ryan Herr. Pushing it down to the far side goes Bakersfield. Just as quick as they had it, actually be tapped out of bounds. No out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Roadrunners in Tiger territory. Looks like it'll be Kendall Burks that will throw it in. Coming all the way from the back part of the defensive side, and will await the throw in. A little bit of time taken off. There's actually in the box a lot of orange jerseys worn by the Tigers. That is tapped up in front. It's applied by the Roadrunners. Taken away by Villa Padua. And actually, that's Jonathan Rico Contreras, and that will be knocked out of bounds. Rico Contreras was on a tear, and Villa Padua will throw it in right here in front of us. Well, actually, go ahead and throw it back to Rappaport. Rappaport will go over towards Haralambos. Silos will turn and push forward and stop and look for the shift on the defense. Tigers wearing the orange jerseys, black numbers, black Pacific across the top of their back, and also wearing a number just on the left side of their chest in the black numbers as well. CJ will take it right around the circle, give it up to Brady Graff. Graf was assessed a yellow card in the last match against UNLV. Via Padua on the near side will give it up to Orendain. Orendain, their senior. Had it momentarily, and that's going to be, well, it should have been called a handball, but it was not. And now on the tear, here comes Ryan Goldsmith. And now there's a big tackle and a lot of people down, and down is Graf. And there's going to be a red card issued to CSU Bakersfield, number 11, Ryan Goldsmith. And so they're going to sort this all out. Actually, it's not on Goldsmith. It looks like it's actually going to be on Orendain. So they're going to back it up. But so there's going to be a foul that will be assessed against the Tigers, but a red card was issued. Oh, it was to Goldsmith. I saw Armendariz kind of trying to plead the case, but it will be issued to Goldsmith. Now the coaching staff between both sides are getting together. Head coach Adam Reeves and the entire staff crew, or the entire coaching staff for the Roadrunners will talk real quick and
focus your mind.
so it'll be a free kick coming up, and it'll be taken by Armendariz. Oh, actually, that was going to be off of Souza. Souza gives it to Anthony Orendain. Orendain will take it away. He'll get it across to the far side to Jonathan Rico Contreras. Nice little footwork and a trip, and a foul is going to be assessed right here. It'll be a foul against the Roadrunners. Coaching staff still actually talking to their referees about that red card. Free kick coming up deep into Roadrunners territory. And it looks going to be Silos that will take the kick over to the far side of the box. Just on the outside of it. So Silos right hand up, move right foot through, and that's going to be high in the air. Blocked by the goalkeeper. Shot deflected by the Roadrunners defense. Silos, once again, that one will be high and way wide right. A couple of big shots there by the Tigers. That's been the unfortunate side the last couple of matches, is that good shots just not falling. In this case, a couple of them have just been obviously pretty high, and that was one of those examples right there. But before that, there were pretty good opportunities. The attempted pass by Amon McLaughlin went wide right. And CJ Brua will get it up to Silos. Silos to Graf. Graf will get it back to Brua. A three-man defensive backfield for the Tigers. To Rappaport, cross at midfield, and we'll give it to Anthony Orendain. Orendain will push it back and kick it around towards Brua back onto the far side. Back up to the middle and get it back to Rappaport. A lot of shifting, but a lot of different looks that the Tigers are giving as far as the attack is going. Gives it to Jonathan Rico Contreras, who's right in the middle. Looking for somebody to give it to. We'll probably back it out. Gives it to Graf. Graf back to Rappaport. And then now Silos will once again try and push the tempo forward. Wants to get it to the far side. Jose Angel Reyes actually on that side. Off to the side of the box. It's knocked out and cleared out. And it will get back to CJ Brua. Brua right at midfield. Gets it right into the middle to her. Her will get knocked, and the referee will go ahead and play on. Graf will take it away and give it back to Villa Padua. Silos push it to Brua all the way back to the far side. They'll want to try and shift it out back to her right in the middle, the top of the box. And a nice tackle by the Roadrunners. Will give it back to the Roadrunners. There's a lot of current time that's been pushed off. We're over here in the 14th, just entering the 14th minute, has actually been dominated for the most part, territory-wise, has been off into the Roadrunners territory. Throwing upcoming for the Roadrunners, and a lot of question regarding the middle of the field. A lot of rain early on. That'll get headed by Jose Angel Reyes. And a shot will be wide high and will go just right by the Roadrunners. First opportunity really we've seen by the Roadrunners. That was taken by Armendariz. But with the rain, the field has gotten a little bit chewed up early on, and had the referees looking at it pretty early on. It'll be a foul on the Roadrunners in Roadrunner territory. Stoppage of the clock, and they're going to bring. The referee was going to have a conversation with both Roadrunners, and I think things are getting a little bit frustrating on the Roadrunner side after an early red card was assessed. So it'll be Silos that will take the penalty kick, the free kick.
Second ball, Diego Brady. Second ball.
Line drive shot that will actually be deflected by the Roadrunners' Tom Shepard. Brua will take it and give it back to the Tigers, to Rappaport. Rappaport will try and set things back up in the middle. Right at the circle is Silos. Silos to Jose Angel Reyes. Back to Silos.
Engage.
And Graff will take it. Graff past the circle on the Roadrunner side. We'll get it to Orendain. Orendain finds a shot. Opportunity. Roque. And cleared out. By the Roadrunners, and another opportunity for the Tigers.
Engage. Balance, Brady.
Just unlucky as that's lofted into the air towards Orendain. Deflected by the Roadrunners once again.
Press.
Head coach Adam Reeves is the voice that you hear that is telling the Tigers to press. Off to Ryan Herr. In the middle to Roque. Roque will push it out to the far side. To Jonathan Rico Contreras to Graff. Graff over to the far side. Jose Angel Reyes will back it off, and it's probably a smart move as he wanted to get his team a better opportunity. To Rappaport to the near side is Villa Padua. Villa Padua will scoot it off into the middle to Graff, to Herr, back to Villa Padua. Look for Orendain, will actually give it to Graff, and it'll be taken away. Actually, momentarily, as that will be an action. Orendain had it for a moment, and the referees went and signaled to go to the other way. No score as we've entered the 17th minute. And it'll be Bell that will send it deep via Padua. A foul on CSU Bakersfield. And once again, conversations by the, there's going to be a yellow card issued. I believe that was to number 4, Kendall Burks. I'm going to double check on that. It was on Kendall Burks.
Yellow card in the 17th minute given to CSU Bakersfield, number 4, Kendall Burks.
Brady. Switch with Brady. Switch with Ryan. Ryan, balance.
This will be a free kick. That'll it'll be going wide high and left. That was by Villa Padua. Actually, Jonathan Rico Contreras, as I watch him go into the middle. So a goal kick will come up for the Roadrunners. It'll be Detre Bell that will send it away here in just a moment. That is sent high in the air just past midfield and headed forward by Graff. And sending it forward was to be Jonathan Rico Contreras, taken away by the Roadrunners. Nicholas Korver. And it'll get shifted all the way back to Bell. Tigers will attempt to apply the pressure that will go to the far side. Off into the middle. Is Downing. Downing will get it to the near side. Matsui. Trying to go inside with Souza. Souza pushed it right up towards the box and was cleared out by the Tigers. Ryan Herr will get it to Graff. Will be headed forward, and Graff will back it off and get it over towards Silos. Silos once again, man in the middle, the senior wearing the captain's band. Along with Anthony Orendain, probably the two guys that have been a big part of the success that the Tigers have had in recent seasons. Silos will get it to the far side to Jose Angel Reyes. Tigers looking to get more of the momentum of the pressure that they've applied here of the recent couple of games, to be honest, and hopefully get one to find the back part of the net. Silos had to get it away. Good job by Silos just getting the last second. Now it's taken away by the Roadrunners and anticipating the pass. And they're going to say no foul. Orendain, shot wide left on the near post. Orendain gave it one heck of a shot. Good to see once again Anthony Orendain back in this game. He missed a good portion of the UNLV game. Probably about 2/3 of the game he missed with what looked to be a lower foot injury. There's been a couple of little significant injuries. Cooper Riley also sustained a lower body injury, as well as Zanza. We haven't seen Zanza in a couple of weeks. Graff with it. Get it over to CJ. Brua will push it forward to Jonathan Rico Contreras to Jose Angel Reyes. Reyes will stop. Back to Rico. And we'll give it to Graff. Graff will actually let it go and give it to Rappaport. Rappaport back to Silos. And off to the far side, Jose Angel Reyes. Reyes wanted to kind of push things back up, but will back it off. Lofted high in the air, and that will go way too far for what looked like to be Anthony Orendain, the intended who that pass was intended for. So Bell will get a goal kick, and it'll be quickly dispatched to Burks. Burks from Tacoma, Washington. Push it forward to Shepard. Shepard will back it off, and now Jonathan Rico Contreras. Rico Contreras will back it off. And a foul on the Tigers will be Roadrunner ball. Possession. And stoppage of the clock will be assessed. His referee's going to go and have a conversation. They want to speed up the play a little bit. Roque was applying the pressure to Bell, the goalkeeper for the Roadrunners. Bell will send it deep to Matsui. Matsui has it knocked out of bounds by Orendain. It'll be a throw in by Matsui. Ryan Herr had it just for a second. He had it deflected and went a little too far in front of him. Now it's Ricardo Souza. Souza will push it out and it will be a too far pass intended for Shepard. And a throw-in upcoming for the Tigers. Tigers will get Rappaport started with it, and they'll give it over to the far side towards Brua. CJ will look for Jose Angel Reyes. Reyes has a couple options. Will actually pass it back to Brua. And then Graff will push the tempo forward momentarily before giving it to Rappaport. Rappaport looking for Silos. Silos will loft it far towards Jose Angel Reyes, and that will go out on the far side. Still no throw-in coming for the Roadrunners, and head coach Adam Reeves is begging for something to happen. Graff will take it. Graff almost had it taken away by the Roadrunners. Was able to give it up to Rappaport, but taken away by Matsui, who was anticipating the pass. Actually, Matsui has his pass taken away by the Tigers defensive Rappaport. Silos heads up against Korver, and then it's taken away on the far side. A nice tackle by Jonathan Rico Contreras before another big tackle, and there's going to be a foul. And Silos is down. Silos will get helped up by Graff. Silos back into it. As on the near side, here comes Rappaport. Rappaport will get it off into the middle. Looking for Villapadua. We'll back it out. Will Villapadua give it back to Silos. Silos will be right in the middle. Go to the far side. Will be Jose Angel Reyes. Matched up 2v1. We'll back it off. We'll get it back to Silos. Silos to Brua, and then a little bit of shift will be Brady Graff. Graff, once again, will get it to Jose Angel Reyes. Had a little bit too much mustard on it. Lofted it up in the air and was knocked out of bounds by the Roadrunners. Will be a throw-in upcoming for the Tigers. This is becoming a 3v1, so now the Tigers need to get it out. It was knocked away. It'll be a corner kick. Looks like Herr will be the one that will apply the corner kick. Line drive, little low liner knocked away by the Roadrunners, and now there's going to be another Tiger getting up a little slow. I believe that's her that may be getting up a little slow. To Orendain, just missed him. In between two defenders, had an opportunity there. So we've entered we're in midway through the 26th minute. No score between the CSU Bakersfield Roadrunners and University of Pacific Tigers. Bakersfield wearing the all-white CSUB across their chest. Their numbers right about their solar plexus. Headed out in the air. They're going to go pointed towards CSU Bakersfield, but they also wear the Roadrunners insignia on the top of their back with blue numbers. Tigers wearing the orange jerseys, black shorts. Pacific across their back, black numbers on their back as well. Ryan Herr with it. He's knocked down and it will be cleared out. Forwarded by Rappaport before he gives to Graff. Graff will give it back to Rappaport and to Brua. Brady Graff will keep the turn. We'll go ahead and keep it going to her. Her knocked down once again. Good job by Silos to knock that one away from Shepard. Shepard had a little bit of room on his right side. And Silos was able to get it knocked away, and Graff was able to come back and clear it out. Rappaport to Graff right at the circle. We'll slow it down, and now the Roadrunners are applying a little bit of a defensive pressure on the Tigers. Well, for a good majority of the portion, they had them kind of on their back heels. Now they'll back off. Via Padua will give it up to Silos. Silos on our near side. We'll get it right to the middle towards Graff. Graff with a little bit of room. We'll go ahead and get it to CJ. CJ to Jose Angel Jerez. One-on-one, we'll back it up. And knocked down was Orendain. Orendain gets back up, and Tigers still maintain the possession even after a quick momentary possession by the Roadrunners. So the Tigers have still controlled a lot of the possessions. Via Padua with a nice move. Almost had an opportunity. Shot off the top post. Headed forward. Off the post once again. Two big opportunities by the Tigers. And I don't think I need to explain what head coach Adam Reeves is explaining right there. He's trying to look at the positive, and that's just been the unlucky moments by the Tigers the last two matches.
Balance. Diego higher. Never mind, Brady's there.
Ryan Herr will send it deep. Push forward by the defensive side of the Roadrunners. So a couple of fortunate take away your breath moments for the Roadrunners, and clock will be stopped once again. Yeah, they gave Diego Villapadua and Anthony Orendain both hit the top crossbar. Just unlucky. It'll be Bell that will do the free kick. Headed backwards actually by the Tigers. Two Tigers converge against Shepard. Shepard will actually be able to knock it back to McLaughlin. To Matsui. Matsui will, with a head of steam down the near side, will set it towards the box. And headed by Jose Angel Reyes. Reyes will get it to Jonathan Rico Contreras. Gets a little bit of inadvertent tangle up by the feet and will lose the possession. So this is the biggest attack that CSU Bakersfield has had here early. As on the far side, Roadrunners will send it high in the air and headed away by Diego Villapadua. Anthony Orendain with a head of steam. He will go inside before Ryan Herr actually gets it after it's deflected by the Roadrunners. Will give it to Jose Angel Reyes, who's on this near side. Brady Graff up at the top. And that will go wide, actually high, and that was Jonathan Rico Contreras, it looked like again. Nine shots for the Tigers. Two of them were in a flurry that were not once but twice.
Now lock him. Ryan.
Ryan Herr matching up for the Tigers. Roadrunners will get it to the near side. And Souza. We'll have our first substitutions coming up here in just a moment. Jonathan Rico Contreras tried to apply a little bit as he was running late, and the Roadrunners were able to get it to the far side. Taken away by Charles Brua, And Brady Graff will take the possession back over for the Tigers to Anthony Orendain. Orendain was a good job. Matsui was anticipating the pass. Orendain wound up coming back inside to keep the possession alive for the Tigers. Orendain lifts it high in the air to her. Her will knock it back to Orendain. And Jose Angel Reyes will back things off for the Tigers to get it to Silos. And then Brady Graff. Tried to get it to Roque. Roque had it taken away only for a quick second. Tigers were able to continue the possession. To Brady Graff. Graff with a little bit of room. Get it forward. And we'll go to the right. And two players for the
Substitutions for the
Roadrunners. Justin Marcus and as well as Mikey Vogel will both come in. Marcus, the sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona, and Vogel from Las Vegas, Nevada, the freshman. Both in for the Roadrunners and getting a little bit of fresh legs. Tigers last played on Thursday in the game against UNLV, and the Roadrunners played on the 13th as well. That was a Friday, so they have a little bit less day, 1 day less of rest. Jose Angel Reyes, near side, will get it, back it up just a little bit to Rappaport. Rappaport looking for Villa Padua. Actually, Jonathan Rico Contreras will lose control of it. 3-on-1. Brady Graff still. Roadrunner still with it. And I think Jonathan Rico Contreras might have kind of gotten a little bit shaken up at the moment. Brady Graff. Jonathan Rico Contreras getting back into the shape for the Tigers and actually already asking for the possession, and he will have to wait. As it goes to the far side now, it's Brady Graff. Graff back it out to Silos. Silos to Jose Angel Reyes.
Brady, don't go so far. No, back here.
Now Brady Graff will turn and dribble it up forward to Jonathan Rico Contreras, who loses control, and will go to Bell.
Go, you got him.
Matsui will send it deep. And once again, the Tigers have been able to control the possession. They keep on controlling.
You'll know when it's time to penetrate.
Anytime that the Roadrunners would start to even get a little momentum, the Tigers would find a way to take it back. And of course, part of that is part of they are shorthanded. Goldsmith for the Roadrunners has been issued a red card early. The time will be called, and it looks like a player may be cramping up over on the far side. We did get rain earlier today, and it was, of course, it was early on, but right after that, it got straight sunshine, and it probably also doesn't help that it kind of gets a little bit humid. And of course, and when with us on the Delta, near the Delta, I should say, it can start to provide a little bit of a humid atmosphere, and that may affect some of the feelings that the opposing teams may be feeling. Not sure how much CSU Bakersfield does get a little bit of a humid weather, but in this area, it can get a little humid.
Silos, Rico, Ryan, come here.
35th minute, no score between both sides. 9 shots and 2 corner kicks for the Tigers. Only 1 shot and 2 saves for the Roadrunners. Head coach Adam Reeves wants to get a chance to talk with the team while one player is for the Roadrunners is coming off. It looks like he's coming off his own power. Carlos Armendariz is the player that's shaken up for a moment. He's going to grab some water and stretch it out a little bit, and we'll be entering here back in momentarily. That will be, now Armendariz will come back in. He'll charge back in. Like, seems like he's feeling no effects of whatever may have been ailing him, and it might have been just a little bit of cramping up. I did not see anything else. He looked like he just kind of went down. Maybe awkwardly. Silos will take the possession for the Tigers on the far side. Jose Angel Reyes on the far side. Comes around and actually has it taken away, but it's cleared out still with the Tigers. Brady Graff once again. And a nice tackle by the Roadrunners. Is that McLaughlin? McLaughlin gives up to the near side. Still McLaughlin. The shot will be high. Taken by Armendariz once again. .36-minute no score. And Brady Graff will bring it back into Roadrunners territory. Graff to Jonathan Rico Contreras. He'll push it forward and clear it out by Matsui. Headed back to Jonathan Rico Contreras. To Graff. Graff looking for a shot. He'll go ahead and go to the far side where Jose Angel Reyes is occupying, and that will go just off his foot, maybe just a little too far out in front. It's like he stumbled on his way out there, and the footing may be a little questionable. As there's once again the early weather has affected a lot of things, including the field of play. Graff will get it to Orendain. Orendain to her. Her back to Graff. Graff leapfrogs over a player. Lofted over, and it'll be offsides called on the Tigers. Detre Bell will do the free kick. As he will send it deep. This time to the far side. It is tapped over towards the far side to go the Roadrunners. Against Ryan Herr. Herr with a nice tackle. Roadrunners was still with it. Cleared out by the Tigers defensive. Matsui. That's Vogel. Vogel on the near side. Clear it towards the box. Ryan Herr. Back to Matsui. That'll go high in the air onto the far side. Looked like he was looking for Marcus. The Tigers looks like they may be getting ready for their first substitution. Not sure who it was. He was just putting on a jersey. We had a foul on Brady Graff, and I'm sure he kind of looked a little confused right just a moment ago. Mateus Souther looks like he will be the guy that will come in next for the Tigers. He'll be the first substitution. He has not checked in yet. They just happen to see him close to my right. Deep by Downing and right at Ethan Bondre. That went over to Jose Angel Reyes. Reyes was able to track it and stop it. And over towards Jonathan Rico Contreras before it goes over towards Brady Graff. Rappaport was on his way over too. It'll be Graff with it. We'll back it out to Silos.
Anthony, between those two.
Back to Graff. Graff to Orendain. Orendain had it taken away for Diego Villapadua. Had it, and we'll back it up once again. It's moved by Jonathan Rico Contreras. And Diego Villapadua is asking for a pass. He more or less just wants the movement, it sounds like.
Don't be on the last line, Diego.
Silos will get it to Graff. Graff off into the middle. Jonathan Rico Contreras lost control upon receiving the pass. And the Roadrunners will take it over once again. There's going to be a foul on the Tigers. And just checking in now was Matthias Seither.
Hey, just keep it. Don't force it. It'll come if we move them.
Souther from Norway. And a move on the near side by Vogel. 2v3. And knocked away by Graff. It'll be a corner kick up coming for the Roadrunners. Be Corver that will do the honors for the first corner kick of the night for the Roadrunners. Four Roadrunners at the top of the box. That'll go in the air right in front. Cleared out by the Tigers. I believe that was Graff that might have gotten a boot on it. Once again, lifted high in the air towards Jose Angel Reyes, and that's headed backwards, and this time cleared out by the Tigers, Rappaport. Pass intended for Bondre will actually, or excuse me, Brua will actually go towards Bondre to help out the Tigers, and it'll be Graff once again. And Brua has to chase this one down. Good job by Rappaport to avoid the pressure by McLaughlin and the Roadrunners. Just enough to actually just flip it up in the air, flip the ball up in the air, and avoid a sliding or avoid a tackle. Graff will turn, get over to Diego Villapadua. Villapadua will dribble it into the middle and find Haralambos. Haralambos will go to the far side. Will be Jose Angel Reyes. 1v2. And Mo will also come in here in just a moment. Mo Kamasasanuki just prefers to be called Mo. Also will come in. So Diego Villapadua. Actually, I believe I also saw tonight Elijah Elliott also came in for the Roadrunners. And Jonathan Rico Contreras is on his way out. So a couple of fresh legs for the Tigers. And Mo made his presence felt in the beginning of the season last year with a couple of big goals for the Tigers. We're in the 44th minute, still a 0-0 score. 9 shots for the Tigers, and it's been a while since the last time they actually have shot. Yeah, foul on the Tigers. Ryan Hurd looks to be a little dejected, a little frustrated. Got a lot of Tigers going off into the top, near the top of the box or in the box.
Mo, watch behind you, Mo, for a runner. Let's go, Kendall.
That's lifted high in the air, headed out by the Tigers. I believe that was Anthony Orendain. Now a little bit of a breakaway. As Roque will get it over to the far side. That's Mo. Mo lifts it high in the air towards the goal, and that will be a save by the goalkeeper, Detroit Bell. Had a little bit of a hop, but was completely controlled.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So at half,
At half,
no score.
score.
Tigers have had 9 shots and 2 corner kicks, no saves to speak of at the moment. For the CSU Bakersfield Roadrunners, 2 shots, 2 saves, and 1 corner kick. And we'll see what kind of halftime adjustments both squads will make, as the Tigers did control a lot of the possession. A lot of time into Roadrunner territory, but have been unsuccessful. But at halftime, we'll take the break. No score from Knowles Field here in Stockton, California, on the campus of the University of Pacific.
We're coming to you just a few miles away from the Pacific Ocean. The 3rd season of the award-winning WCC All Access kicks off on the hilltop at the University of San Francisco. I'm Sammy O'Brien.
And I'm Ezra Broder. And coming up, how do you follow up the most successful fall sports season in conference history? We let you know what to expect this year.
Plus, some of the most successful alums play on the biggest stages in the world. We look back at the NBA draft and the U.S. Open.
And what's it like to play with 2 future Hall of Famers? We catch up with former LMU and current Angels infielder David Fletcher.
But first, the WCC made history this summer. 2 Gonzaga basketball players were taken in the first round of the NBA draft, and Conference Player of the Year, Rui Hachimura, became the first Japanese player to be taken in the first round.
Hachimura, fly play, no look, Rui left hand, there it goes!
With the 9th pick in the 2019 NBA draft, the Washington Wizards select Rui Hachimura from Toyama, Japan, and Gonzaga University.
I mean, it's crazy. It's unreal. It means a lot for me, my family, and home my country. You know, I'm so thankful. Yeah.
Look out! Oh my goodness, the rim! Are you kidding me, Roxy? Brandon Clark.
With the 21st pick in the 2019 NBA draft, the Oklahoma City Thunder select Brandon Clark from Vancouver and Gonzaga University.
Wow, you know, it was just so much work and just so much trust in like myself and my teammates and my coaches that I've had. So I'm just really grateful for, you know, all that stuff that happened to me.
And a few weeks after the draft, NBA Summer League in Vegas took center stage. 10 former WCC Hoops stars suited up for NBA teams, including the tournament's MVP, Brandon Clark.
So what's the Summer League experience been like for you so far, Frankie?
It's been awesome. I'm playing with a great team, a great group of guys, and learning a lot from our coaching staff, and the game's just slowing down for me each and every game, and the more minutes I get, so I'm really enjoying it.
It prepares me a lot. You know, everybody in the WCC is really competitive. You know, they're scouting, taking their time, have a game plan when they're going against you.
You're chasing this dream, and you have one shot to do, you know, you got to give it your best shot right now, so it's not really time to rest. Really good level competition. Everyone's, you know, trying to make the NBA, and so the minutes are hard to come by, and the competition is really good.
There's more spacing for sure, but that's honestly good so far. I mean, it feels almost easier than college basketball playing in the summer league. But you know, I'm sure that it'll get picked up more playing against better athletes. But you know, as of right now, it's been fun.
It's been great. It's been a lot of fun. Guys are a lot of fun. Coaches are all great, teaching me a lot of good things, and so I'm really happy that I'm here.
I think that it's something that's definitely different since last year, and I've been really enjoying it this time around. So you know, it's something that hopefully I can keep getting better at, and we'll see what happens.
It's big time.
You know, it's what the NBA is about. You know, you're in Vegas, you know, so there's obviously the temptations there. But you're here with a new group of guys and trying to figure out how I can make, impact in the game. Just go, go, go. But I mean, that's what you live for. That's what you want to play basketball for. You know, no days off. I'm embracing it, man. It's time. Good time to be alive.
Time to take a break. When we come back, we recap the biggest stories from across the conference over the summer. And some of the best soccer teams in the country play right in your backyard. We preview the men's and women's soccer seasons up next. WCC All Access, brought to you in part by Nike.
Let's do what we're called to do with wisdom and excellence.
Pick past the low-hanging fruit
and find new ways to reach higher levels.
Let's leave a spot at the table for the least included and the most likely to be the first of their kind
and the last in line.
Let's look around
from the heart of San Francisco and see the city for what it is.
Passionate, entrepreneurial,
inclusive, like no other place on earth. Let's
change the world from here.
What is our way? Our way is unrelenting. Imposing as the mountaintops to our east, strong as the ocean to our west. Our way is forward, challenged by past achievement, expecting future success. Our way is committed, devoted, passionate. Our way fuels us to be different, to be inspired, to have faith in each other. What is our way? Our way is West.
We're back on WCC All Access from the campus of San Francisco. I'm Ezra Broder. It's time to go down the coast and see what's making headlines around the conference.
A trio of former WCC hoop stars signed NBA deals. Former Zag Nigel Williams-Goss signed a 2-year deal with the Utah Jazz after playing the last 2 seasons overseas. And after playing with Sacramento's Summer League team, both BYU big man Eric Mika and San Diego's Isaiah Pinheiro signed the dotted line with the Kings. Best of luck to all 3 in training camp this fall. You'll see a new face roaming the sidelines in Malibu. Kristen Dowling takes over the Waves women's basketball team. The former Pepperdine assistant most recently coached at Division III Claremont Mudd Scripps. She takes over for Delisha Milton-Jones, who's now an assistant at Syracuse. This summer was awards season for us at the WCC Network. Season 2 of this show was named Best Program Series at the SVG NACTA College Sports Media Awards. In addition, our feature on LMU recruit Rise Williams won a National Telly Award, and our story on the Piscotti family was nominated for a Northern California Emmy Award. And back on the field, some WCC soccer players are up for some national awards. 9 men and women are on the Mac Herman Trophy watch list. On the men's side, 4 Gales and 1 Portland player make the list. The 4 from St. Mary's are the most in the country from one team. On the women's side, 2 from BYU and 2 from Santa Clara are listed, including last year's semifinalist, Kelsey Hedge.
2018 was a banner year for the WCC here on the pitch. 3 men's teams made the NCAA tournament for the first time in a decade, and St. Mary's finished as the only unbeaten soccer team in the country. Let's see what we can expect in 2019.
Can't continue to express how excited I am to be here at the University of San Francisco as the new men's soccer head coach. I'm a competitor. I want to win. I don't want to wait for that. My goals and expectations are to compete for a WCC championship right away.
It's brought in a whole new type of style, very relentless in the attack, but also secure at the back. So I think it's going to be something a little different than last year where we conceded too many goals.
Last year was last year. I mean, it was a pretty special year, obviously, but it's done. And the guys know that. And so this year's a completely different year. We know we have a target on our back, and that's a good place to be. We embrace that. That's where we want to be every year.
I think the expectation has to be that we need to try to work to win that national championship and make this program one of those pinnacle organizations across America.
Obviously, I'm brand new to the program, to the university. Very familiar with all the success that's been built here in the last 3 years. Last year, I think, was a successful year to get to the NCAA tournament for the third year running, to get out of the first round. And there's a lot to build on. There's a lot to be excited about.
We deliberately scheduled a very challenging non-conference schedule, both at home and on the road, and playing some of the top teams in the country to prepare us for the rigors of the WCC, which we know last year the WCC was a top league in the West Coast.
We lost some key guys last year. We had a good squad, had a good run. But this year, I think it is no change. The mentality is still very high up. The squad this year is looking really good, and we all have confidence in each other.
The WCC is synonymous with women's soccer success. 85 NCAA tournament appearances, 19 Final Fours, and 3 national titles. Take a look as we preview this year's campaign.
Every team is a bit of a rebuild, but the talent on this team is exceptional. Our girls have a chip on their shoulder, and so this schedule, you know, I don't know how we're going to navigate it, but we know that each and every game that shows up, it's like another chance to show the country, hey, that we're for real.
We love how tough it is. We love being able to compete with the top teams in the nation. We want to compete with the best because we believe that we can stand with the best because we are also the best.
We took the team on a foreign trip to France this year, which was great. We got some training sessions in. We got some matches in. We're obviously, because of that, a little ahead of where we normally would be, I think, tactically, and in terms of togetherness.
Everyone's been super excited, even the locker room, come out to training. Like, we're like 10, 15 minutes early, which is so cool.
We'll be fresh, we'll be talented, we'll be able to create chances, and hopefully score, you know, 2 or 3 goals a game or more. That's our goal right now.
The thing I'm most excited for this season with this team is just the culture that we have. We have gotten really close to the freshmen, and the senior class has done a really good job of just taking their time to get to know them.
You know, really excited about this season, this time of year, but we've got a great experienced and mature team coming back, giving them the green light to go at defenders and get off our crosses and our shots and our touches in the box. So we just hope to be a better attacking team this year.
When we come back, what's been trending on social media? Some of the best tweets and posts are coming your way. And BYU volleyball made the Final Four last year. Can anyone dethrone the WCC champs this season? We break down the volleyball season when we return.
What is our way? Our way is unrelenting. Imposing as the mountaintops to our east, strong as the ocean to our west. Our way is forward, challenged by past achievement, expecting future success. Our way is committed, devoted, passionate. Our way fuels us to be different, to be inspired, to have faith in each other. What is our way? Our way is West.
Here are some of the best moments on social media. LMU is revamping Hank's house. Check out this time-lapse video of the new floor being installed at Gersten Pavilion. Looking sharp. If you want to see a historic backdrop, though, look no further than Gonzaga women's hoops. The Zags spent some time in Italy and shared some pics on Instagram, including this one in front of the Coliseum. More history in the making as the Australian Boomers beat Team USA for the first time ever. And 3 of the starters for the Aussies are former Gales. Patty Mills, Matthew Dellavedova, and Jock Landale all contributed to the historic win. And we're less than a year away from the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. The WCC and all 10 member schools are teaming up with the U.S. Olympic Committee to celebrate all of the Olympians who played sports in college. Welcome back to the USF campus for WCC All Access. I'm Sammy O'Brien. The iconic Pebble Beach is just a few hours down the PCH from here, and this summer it hosted the prestigious U.S. Open. We caught up with 3 former WCC golfers who played in the event.
It's exciting, but I've never played in a tournament as big as this, right? College tournaments, nobody comes out and watches, Canadian Tour or whatever, nobody comes out and watches. But this is definitely the real deal. You're on the tee with 500 people around you watching it.
Yeah, there's obviously some good golf schools. There's some good players every year, it seems like. So it's cool that we got a few guys out there from
the West Coast Conference.
Obviously, it's cool to be playing on the West Coast, where our conference pretty much is, and it's, hopefully our guys can do well this week.
I definitely think our conference is headed in the right direction, right? I mean, a lot of people, competition's getting better. Playing at Santa Clara, we had access to every course around here, right? And we're used to the weather, used to the Poana greens, play a variety of courses, so you get to hit every single type of shot instead of just playing on one home course. And I had a coach, luckily enough, that pushed me to play better every time, and that's what you got to do.
Yeah, we played against some good teams and everything. Played some really nice courses all 4 years I played there. So just kind of mini tour events, I guess.
Still have some great schools, San Diego and Santa Clara. Different schools were pretty good when I was there, so had great competition, and obviously competing for the WCC championship was a top priority for Pepperdine, and competition is always great.
Half of the WCC competed in the NCAA volleyball tournament last year, and #1 ranked BYU advanced to the Final Four. So I think it's safe to say the WCC will be a national contender this season as well. Let's take a look.
West Coast Conference volleyball, it's fast, the best ball control probably in the entire country, and honestly, some of the smartest, best coaches that are around.
The WCC is definitely a really tough conference, but I think something that's really cool is that anybody can beat any other team on any given day.
We were sitting there in our locker room watching the viewing party, and just the fact that we made the tournament was huge. To be able to ride that into this next season is awesome, and I think we're all feeling really good.
Our players that were out on the beach contending for a conference title and finding ways to pull it out was invaluable, and they're going to take a lot of those lessons that they learned out there into our gym.
I think we're bringing a lot of that momentum into the indoor season because a lot of us were on that team.
We've lost Ronnie Jones-Perry, and so we're looking to fill her role and see who wants to step up into that role. And we're looking, obviously we graduated Lindy Haddock-Epic, and so we're looking to replace a setter. So we have a couple question marks, which is exciting. It means we get to learn about ourselves and grow and see who steps up during preseason heading into our first couple matches. There's great teams coming back, players that we know we're going to have to be ready for, and it's going to be a great West Coast Conference year.
Last year we learned that we have the potential to go far in the tournament, and this year it's taking that and saying, okay, what else? How much farther can we get this year? And kind of knowing on day one that we have that chance is really cool, and just kind of a motivation for us to really get after it.
Well, as much as we talk about success on the court, the WCC excels off it as well. This summer, student athletes from all 10 schools met up in San Diego at the WCC Leadership Summit and gave some of their time to help those in need. Let's see how they embodied the hashtag WCC Represent as they teamed up with Pancake Peeps.
Back here at Knowles Field on the campus of the University of the Pacific in Stockton, California. No score between the California State University Bakersfield Roadrunners and the University of the Pacific Tigers. Jeff Dominic with you. Thank you very much for joining us. Tigers have had 9 shots. 2 of them were show on goal. Both of them hitting the top of the crossbar and were unlucky, while the CSU Bakersfield Roadrunners have had a couple of lucky opportunities, but nothing really showing on the scoreboard for them as well. Only 2 shots for the Roadrunners, along with 1 corner kick. Tigers throwing out a couple of different looks. Luis Etienne Zanza will enter the contest. Mo Kamasasanuki, Roque still in there for the Tigers, along with Ryan Herr. Brady Graff Anthony Orendain. CeeLo still in there for the Tigers as well, as there's going to be a pass by Bakersfield that will go too far. Niall Owens with the pass went straight to the goalkeeper, Ethan Bondre. CeeLo's Rappaport still in there for the Tigers as well, via Padua. Charles Brua not in there for the, actually Charles Brua is still in there. CJ still on the near side. We'll get it to Graff. Graff on the far side looking for Looked like Jonathan Rico Contreras. It could have been Jose Angel Reyes as well. Getting confirmation on who's still in. They have Orendain, Bondre, Brua, Villapadua, Her, Graf, Rappaport still in for the Tigers. For the Roadrunners, it'll still be Corber, Bell in goal. Souza, Shepard, Armendariz, Burks, Owens, Downing, and Matsui. Orendain on the near side. We'll have it off the deflection. Back to Silos. I'll back it out to Rappaport. Rappaport right at midfield. We'll go to the far side. Tigers going from left to right. We're in the orange jerseys, black numbers on their back, Pacific across the top of their back, and right on their left pec is their number as well in black. Orendain into the box. Cross a diving attempt by Roque. Silos. We'll get it to Brua. We'll get it to Silos, back to Graf. Graf tried to get a pass inside, taken away by Matsui. And on the far side, taken away by Graf. Well, for that, it goes to the Roadrunners. A foul will be called on the Tigers right at midfield. Actually, on the Tigers' territory at midfield. And the Roadrunners showing a little bit more pressure than they had in the first half. It'll be Matsui with the free kick. Roadrunners wearing the all-white blue numbers. CSUB across their chest. Little Roadrunner insignia on their back, on the top of their back, as well as their number in more of a powder blue with white trim. That's deflected high in the air by Mo and will go out of bounds. Throwing upcoming for the Roadrunners. Looks like it's Kendall Burks that will throw it in on the far side. Nice throw, will go towards the top of the box, headed forward. Armendariz will head it forward. Now a outlet pass towards Roque. Roque gives it to Orendain. Orendain had it for a moment. Actually, that's Zanza, excuse me. Zanza. And a foul will be on Zanza. Matsui is the one that went down. Armendariz along with Corber and Shepard all together. It'll be Shepard that will apply the free kick. They'll send it deep off to the middle. Good job by Souther. Get it towards Silos. Will get it towards Orendain on the near side. Orendain will turn and go ahead and pass it forward towards Zanza. Zanza will have a chest, and there's going to be a foul on a high kick by the Roadrunners. Roque was trying to get it, push the pressure forward, and a foul will be called on the Roadrunners. Deep in Roadrunner territory. We'll see who does the free kick, and a stoppage of the clock will be applied by the middle ref as he's going to go ahead and have a conversation with the defensive side for the Roadrunners once again. Like it's Ryan Hurd that will take the free kick. That is up in the air. Now we'll go wide right. Spiraling hooking kick by the sophomore from Sacramento. That'll go out of bounds. Last touch by the Tigers. Tigers bench unhappy. They wanted it to be going. They thought it was a throw-in coming up for the Tigers. Pass, quick throw-in. Comes in forward to McLaughlin. McLaughlin will back it out and towards Owens. Owens on the near side will give it back to Korber. Korber into the middle will go too far and will go taken away by the Tigers. Off to Silos. Silos will back it out, give it to CJ. CJ to Graff. Graff will get it past midfield and will back it out on the near side. Orendain is by himself. He'll get it, receive a pass. Pass will one-on-one. We'll get to Silos. Silos with a little bit of a gap. We'll get it high in the air, and that will go right towards Bell. Bell will just jump up, and quickly give it over to the far side. Matsui with a good tackle by Graff, and that will go out of bounds. th shot of the match for the Tigers. And Bell with 3 saves. Throw in, taken away quickly by the Tigers. Zanza has it knocked out of bounds. Will be a throw in after a good defensive effort by the Roadrunners. Looks like it will be via Padua once again. We'll throw it in, and on the far side, Silos will get it towards the middle. Mo had it for, looked like the pass may have been intended for Orendain, but Mo took charge as it looked like Orendain may have been stopped by 2 different Roadrunners, so it'll be back to the near side. CJ right at midfield. We'll get it to Mo. Mo looked for Orendain. We'll actually back it out back to CJ. CJ will push it back over towards Rappaport. Orendain once again will step on the near side. Will be by himself once again. CJ would love to get it to him if he has an opportunity. It gets to Graff. Graff will get it back to Silos. Now Silos will push the tempo and go over towards Orendain. Orendain will be matched up by about 2 different Roadrunners, and it'll be nice tackle by Owen. It'll be a throw-in coming up for the Tigers. Orendain looks like he will take it. He'll go over and get it to Silos. Silos will back it out and give it to CJ. Brua back to Rappaport. And lofted high in the air towards Mo. Mo will actually go towards Orendain. Orendain will attempt a one-on-one. It'll be taken away by Owen and deflected by Orendain. Orendain gives it up to her. Her back to Orendain. A little give and go. Gives it to back to Silos. Silos to Mo. Her with an opportunity. And deflected and knocked away twice by her. And it'll go out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick upcoming. Her on the near side post had 2 opportunities and just couldn't get it around the goalkeeper. He had to basically fight the defender and the goalkeeper all at the same time. Headed away by Orendain. He'll go get towards Rappaport, who will go over towards the far side. Go the Tigers. Tigers going from left to right. We'll give it to Orendain. And then back to Silos. Silos over towards the far side. Give it to Rappaport. Looking for Graff. And it'll be Zanza. Zanza was looking for Roque. Looks like Jonathan Rico Contreras will come in soon. He's not checked in yet, but he's right to my right. Bell will send it into Tiger territory, headed by Orendain. Chest high towards Owen. Owen will boot it on one hop, and it'll go towards Bondre. Bondre will just scoop it up and flip it over towards Rappaport. Silos will pass it forward towards Mo. Mo will back kick it over towards Roque. Roque has an opportunity with Orendain. Orendain will give it back to Silos. And then a pass over towards Graf. Graf over towards the far side via Padua. And there's going to be a foul right near where hers at, right at the top of the box. Jonathan Rico Contreras. Jonathan Rico Contreras, a animated senior. Let's see who will take this kick for the Tigers. Ryan Herr, as well as Graf and Mo and Silos all together. To face Detre Bell, as well as a long line of defenders for the Roadrunners. It'll be Herr. Herr will send it high in the air and it'll go over the net. And Graf will be substituted by Jonathan Rico Contreras. One thing you can say about Jonathan Rico Contreras, who's a redshirt senior, that's coming towards us, headed forward. Nice job. I'm going to say that's out of bounds. So throw in upcoming. But Jonathan Rico Contreras has been around quite a few years, redshirt senior from Half Moon Bay. On the field, he's different. He's definitely different. Off the field, he's very entertaining. He likes to be the, I wouldn't say the center of attention, but definitely likes to be the enjoying the moment, if you will. That pass was intended for Silos and will be taken away by Silos and Mo. So free kick upcoming for the Roadrunners. On the near side is Owen. Over towards the far side, headed high in the air towards is Brua. Brua will get it forward to Herr. Herr will tap it forward, and he'll left it into the air. Zanza is by himself, actually 1v2. Tapped forward, there's Mo. Mo, far side bar, almost headed by the Tigers. Almost an opportunity once again for the Tigers. There's going to be a foul. Herr will get it to the far side. Orendain into the box, and it'll be deflected off of Shepard. It'll be a corner kick. Herr will go over towards the near side. Yeah, third corner kick for the Tigers. 13 shots for the Tigers in comparison to 2 for CSU Bakersfield. Herr sends it high in the air towards the top of the box, headed backwards, and it'll go out of bounds, and actually last touch by a Roadrunner. On the far side will be another corner kick, and I think this time Mo will take it. So the fourth corner kick upcoming for the Tigers. This will be Mo, and he'll send it more of a lower line drive. Will get tapped right back to him. He'll back it off. And this time, once again, this is headed, and it'll go wide right. And another corner kick. This one was once again deflected by a defender for the Roadrunners. This time, Ryan Herr will be the guy that will do the corner kick. Once again, this time it's tapped forward, and he'll give it to Ryan Herr. Once again, a little tap back and forth. Herr will back it out, and Brua will get it towards Souther. Souther into the middle. Orendain with a little bit of an off-balance attempt. And that will go high and right for a goal kick by Bell. 15 shots for the Tigers. We're in the 61st minute, no score. Lofted high in the air by Bell. Headed backwards by the Roadrunners. McLaughlin will take it on the near side. 1v1. It gets onto the inside of Orendain. Shot right at Bondre. The shot by Shepard was the best attempt that the Roadrunners have been able to provide thus far. Mo to Silos, down to Orendain. Orendain on the near side. The Tigers go from left to right. Jonathan Rico Contreras with a long pass over towards Orendain, right through everybody. And this one's up in the air. That one's to the near side. Back to Orendain. Orendain matched up defensively. And it gets knocked out of bounds. Last touch by the Roadrunners. An ill-advised pass. Well, more or less the pressure by the Tigers did not make that an easy attempt. Brua will get it over towards Rappaport. Silos will turn. A little bit of room. Tried to get it over towards Mo. Now on the near side with a lot of room is Niall Owen. Owen, wide left, and will go off the scoreboard. Jonathan Rico Contreras will get it to Silos. Silos looks for Mo, give it to Mo. Mo will turn and actually give it right back to Silos. Jonathan Rico Contreras on the far side. Look for a little bit of room. Silos try to deke inside. Will back it off, give it to Ryan Herr. Herr once again backs it off. Give it to Villapadua. Villapadua will give it back to Rico Contreras. Now to Silos. Silos to Mo. Mo tried to heel kick it and trying to get it over three defenders. Luckily, the Tigers will stay with the possession. To Jonathan Rico Contreras. Down to Silos. Silos get it back to Mo. Mo now will get it to Orendain. Orendain. That will get deflected and that will go across the box and knocked away and out of bounds by the Roadrunners. A throw-in upcoming for the Tigers. Still deep in Roadrunner territory. Tap it in. Three Tigers near the ball. Will actually get it passed out. We'll get it to Silos. Silos will get it to Zanza. Zanza to Mo. Mo taps it forward. Back to Mo. To Orendain. Across the box. Uh-oh, almost an opportunity by Roque. That pass was just a little high and actually went off the top of, more like the shin of Roque. Nice moves by the sophomore Mo and Orendain, the senior, getting together. Silos with a nice tackle, gets the possession to Roque. Roque off onto the near side, a 3-on-1. Try to get it deflected off of one of the defenders. Knocked out of bounds, and now the Tigers will reshape. Be Owen to throw it in for the Roadrunners. Roadrunners wearing the all-white. CSU B across their chest, numbers just below. On their back, they have the Roadrunner insignia as well as their numbers in blue with a little bit of white trim. Throw-in was to McLaughlin. McLaughlin will back it off and get it out to the defensive side for the back line for the Roadrunners. As that's deflected, Zanza Zonzo 1v1. Go to the far side, try and get it inside towards her. Mo. Shot. Shot again. This one will go in. Anthony Orendain in the 66th minute will get a goal for the Tigers. It's 1-0. I'll double check if it's going to be an assist, but I just think that he had it upon himself, and Anthony Orendain with a couple of shots finally gets one to go through. That's number 2 on the season, and it took to the 66th minute, and finally the Tigers were able to score. Finally was able to get one to cross the goalpost, and it was Orendain with a nice direct shot that he gets a congratulatory hug by his teammate CJ, Charles Brua. And now we'll see what the Roadrunners can do to counter. That is lifted high in the air towards the far side. Go the Roadrunners. That'll be too far, and it'll be a throw-in upcoming for the Tigers. Now that they're able to get that one in, we'll see if that will relax them in a little way, as it's been a couple of matches since the Tigers have felt that feeling. Jonathan Rico Contreras will take the charge up the field and will actually back it off. Brua just on the Tigers side of the midfield. Silos will keep it, and back to Rappaport towards the circle. Circle will go to Villa Padua, down to Zonza. And Zonza was really the guy that kind of started that whole flurry, as he was able to create the turnover for the Tigers and was able to push it down the far side and got it across the box. And Orendain was right there to take a couple of opportunities at it. The second shot did go in. And Tigers lead this one 1-0. Villa Padua will check in. A couple of different players will come in, as that is a nice tackle by Amon McLaughlin. Villa Padua will come in for Souther. And a free kick upcoming will get taken by the Roadrunners, headed backwards, and a good job by Souther, and moves by Jonathan Rico Contreras, and will get it knocked out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in coming up, and before a couple subs, Jose Angel Reyes also coming in for the Tigers. They'll re-enter the match. Souza will come back in for the Roadrunners. Anthony Orendain will take a little bit of a breather, as well as Souther. Matsui will take the break for the Roadrunners. And on the far side, the Tigers will let that one go out, and it'll be a goal kick upcoming for Bondre and the Tigers in the 69th minute. 1-0 our score. 17 shots for the Tigers, only 4 allowed by the Tigers' defensive side for the Roadrunners. This will go deep towards Zonza, headed backwards. Zonza will try and go around, and it'll actually be deflected off of the Roadrunners, and a throw-in upcoming in Roadrunner territory for the Tigers. Rappaport will push the tempo, go forward. It'll be Ryan Herr loses control, and it'll be deflected. A good job by the Tigers, and we'll go ahead and retake the possession and try and reshape over towards the near side. Jose Angel Reyes. Reyes will settle it right at his feet. We'll push it towards Mo. Mo back it off. And actually a good job by Mo. Mo continues with the possession, tries to get it to Zanza, just taps it, was able to get maybe just enough. Is blocked forward by the defensive side for the Roadrunner. Zanza lost his footing. On the near side, here comes Owen. And taken away by Jose Angel Reyes. And he took a little bit of a hard spill. That was a big thud that I was able to hear right off the ground. The way he hit, it almost looked like he could have been one of those ones where you hit the ground awkwardly and you could take the wind right out of you, and that looked like what it may have happened just momentarily, but he stays in. He'll actually just receive that pass. Jose Angel Reyes will get it to the near side towards Mo. Mo was anticipating Jose Angel Reyes to come back, did not, and now on the far side, cross into the box, cleared out by the Tigers. Anthony Orendain will come back in at the next opportunity. Jose Angel Reyes stopped and actually was taken away by McLaughlin. McLaughlin will clear it towards the far side.
Fall back! Move! Fall back!
Alexis Rivas will come in for the Roadrunners as they are on the side of the box. That is blocked and just wide left. Blocked by Ethan Bondre. A big save. In the 72nd minute. The referee tried to blow the horn, and I think as the weather has gotten colder, so have the horns. So those regular air horns, they get really frosty really easy. But 72nd minute, corner kick on the near side is Niall Owen. Owen will get it to Zanza. Zanza actually takes it away. Zanza will go ahead and get a little bit ahead of steam. We'll try and push it forward, taken away by the Roadrunners. Brady Graff will come in at the next opportunity once again for the Tigers. This is lifted in the air, a one-on-one, and he'll be going wide left. Brady Graff will come in place of Ryan Herr. Goal kick up coming by Bondre. Bondre will actually grab it and now settle it at his feet. Soft side tap will go over towards Rappaport. Rappaport will get it back to Bondre. Bondre now will send it deep right towards Anthony Orendain. That's going to be a little high. Headed high in the air by Owen. And cleared out to the far side. Owens said his name quite often over, especially in the second half. He's done a great job in the defensive side for the Roadrunners. A couple of great tackles and done whatever he can in order to keep this score where it's at. Owens on the near side. Niall Owens will go towards was looking for Rivas, and it was actually go towards Bondre after it was deflected off of the back of Brua. So Bondre. That'll go out of bounds. A throw-in will come in right here in front of us. It'll be Owens, another throw-in to Armendariz. And almost right towards Zanza. Kick back to Owens. Owens on the defensive side will get it pushed forward to Vogel. Vogel will actually lose control, and it'll be a throw-in upcoming for the Tigers after they where he dribbled outside. Zanza right in the gap of a couple of Roadrunners will push it over towards, tried to look for Jonathan Rico Contreras. Out of bounds, last touch by the Tigers. Throw end up coming for the Roadrunners. Yeah, throw end up coming for the Roadrunners. Majority of them right at the top of the box, and a long throw headed forward. Knocked out. Another throw end up coming for the Tigers, or excuse me, for the Roadrunners. 76th minute, 1-0 our score off the Orendain goal. That was in the 66th minute. Throw will go to Owens right at midfield. He'll push it forward and taken away by Anthony Orendain. Now there's a 3-on-1 here on the far side. Tigers with the opportunity. Pass it forward, shot. They want a handball. It'll trickle in. They're gonna wait on it. They may have called offsides. They're gonna call a penalty kick, but they're gonna stop the clock. And Silos will come over towards the referee. They're gonna have a conversation. There was a lot of confusion right there, but there was someone was claiming for offsides, and then of course there was a conversation for handball, and they're going to call offsides before everything. So no goal, and the score will remain the same. Silos is very upset about that call. He felt that there should have been a handball call and possibly a penalty kick, and so they're going to call it offsides. Roque will come back in at the next whistle for the Tigers. Roque has played extensive minutes. And on the near side is Owens. Owens matched up against Orendain. Good job by Orendain to go ahead and apply the pressure. Gives it up to Silos. Silos will take it over for the Tigers. Now it's taken away by the Roadrunners. Off to Marcus. And now Armendariz over to the far side. Go to the Roadrunners, and then it'll go off to the box. Shot deflected by the Tigers. Marcus over towards the side of the box. Once again deflected in the air. Brua will clear it just enough and will trickle out for a throw in for the Roadrunners. Ryan Herr will also check back in for the Tigers. Far back go the Roadrunners. A long throw that will go towards the box. And in the front, headed around momentarily. Now finally cleared out. Looked like that was Orendain that will clear it out. Throw-in was in. Silos matched up against Owens, taken away. A foul will be called on the Roadrunners, and it'll be Tiger possession here in the 79th minute. Ethan Bondre will take the free kick. It will be on the near side. Charles Brua along with Jose Angel Reyes. Brua back to Bondre. A little give and go. So Roadrunners will try and apply pressure. They'll get it to the far side to Rappaport. Rappaport will push it forward just for a moment, and we'll get it inside to Mo. Mo to Zanza. Zanza, if he looks to the right, we'll see an opportunity, which would have been Orendain. Orendain tapped too lightly, and I think Orendain had an opportunity here, and a push. Orendain had a great opportunity if Zanza would have been able to find him quickly. I think that was too soft of a pass. That would have been too much. A little more would have been perfect for Orendain. McLaughlin will wait to Souza. Souza will be the one that will take the free kick. Owens is down, but he's tying his shoe. 80th minute, 1-0 our score. Tigers took the lead in the 66th minute. And Souza will send it deep over towards the far side. Headed high in the air. It'll be Bondre that will just knock it down with his right hand. And then scoop it up and run to the far side. He'll go ahead and throw it. Well, actually, wait. Originally, I thought he was going to throw it. Now on the near side, on the run will be Jose Angel Reyes. Reyes will pass it to the far side, or near side, it will be Orendain. Orendain will get it to Jose Angel Reyes. Dribble it inside, tap it back to Mo. Mo will give it to Silos. Silos down to, will shift it over towards the far side. Rappaport right at midfield, right around the circle. We'll get it inside to Zanza. Zanza to Graf. Graf will back it out and give it to CJ. Rappaport will back it out. Now the Roadrunners will apply a little bit of pressure as it will get sent deep in the air and headed forward towards Orendain. Orendain, a couple of nice moves. Actually now a 1v1 as he will back out the defender. And it'll be knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Orendain. Jonathan Rico Contreras, very animated out in the field. He's saying that there was an opportunity, and I think that Orendain didn't see it at the moment, and that I think may have cost him. Owens will get the throw in. Backed off to Shepard. Shepard will have it taken away towards Zanza. Zanza towards Jonathan Rico Contreras. Jonathan Rico Contreras has it deflected and will go out of bounds. That should be a corner kick. Upcoming for the Tigers. Actually, I thought it was deflected. I thought it would be the Tigers' possession. Derek Roquet and Ryan Herr will come back in. And it is a corner kick. I was thinking that should have been the case. Was deflected, so it'll be Herr that will take the corner kick. 83rd minute, 1-0 our score. Tigers Herr will have a line drive that will go right off of a defender for the Roadrunners, so it'll be once again Herr. We'll see how he approaches this attack from this corner kick. Another line drive that will go right back to Herr. And now it'll be a throw in. Jose Angel Reyes will take that throw in. Anthony Orendain will creep up to the near side. The throw in will go towards Herr, but tap right back to Jose Angel Reyes. Back to Herr. Herr matched up with a lot of different white jerseys in there as well. Taken away momentarily by the Roadrunners. Taken away back to the Tigers. Brady Graff and Jose Angel Reyes were able to converge and keep the possession going for the Tigers in Roadrunner territory. To the far side. Via Padua. And said his name much over this half. Now the Roadrunners will step forward. After the backwards pass will go towards Rappaport. Rappaport will get it forward once again towards Via Padua. Pass to the far side, and it'll be offsides is the call. Diego Villapadua was just too far ahead. Now so the pass by Bell will go towards the near side. A foul will be called on Anthony Orendain. Rivas was the one that kind of went sideways for a moment. Souza will tap it forward to Owens. Owens, a long shot that will go wide, and it'll go wide right. 85th minute. Substitution here will be Tom Shepard. Stoppage here. 18 shots for the Tigers, 2 saves and 4 corner kicks, while the Roadrunners have had 4 shots in this half, 6 total, 3 saves and 1 corner kick. This morning started with a little bit of rain, and then Anthony Orendain was on the near side, and he took a little drink of water and tried to kind of roll the water bottle back towards the sideline, and it went he probably got about 4 feet out of it, and it stopped right there in front of him. And that's what everyone's kind of joking around back over along the table line here. Back to action. Ethan Bondre will send it deep for the Tigers, as that will go towards midfield towards Graff, and it'll be actually headed forward by the Roadrunners. Graff continues with the possession on the far side, will be Villapadua. Villapadua will look for her, and it'll be passed back towards Bell. Detre Bell will get it over to the far side for the Roadrunner. Roadrunners going from right to left, wearing the all-white with blue lettering and blue numbers. There's a roll-up by one Roadrunner and one Tiger together. I think that was it was Villapadua and might have been Armendares. There's a pass over towards Owens. Owens will get it over towards Souza. Souza, that's out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in upcoming for the Tigers. 86th minute. Jose Angel Reyes will get it to CJ over into the back line. Jose Angel Reyes will get it a long outlet pass, and I think that was the idea, was to get it towards Derek Roque. Will go out of bounds. Roque was on the run. Throw-in upcoming for the Roadrunners. Time starting to wind down in this half and in this contest. Owens will send it deep towards Brua. Brua with a nice move. To get hooked by Vogel. It'll be a foul on Vogel and the Roadrunners, so it'll be a free kick at the 35, and it'll be over towards Rappaport. Rappaport will get it into the middle towards Silos. Silos will get it to Graff. Graff will get it towards the far side near Villapadua. Jonathan Rico Contreras with it. Will give and go, and knocked out of bounds. Last touched by the Roadrunners. 87th minute. Justin Marcus coming back in for the Roadrunners, as he'll replace Souza. Over to the near side comes McLaughlin. McLaughlin will pass it forward. Roque and 2 Tigers. Haralambos. Sent deep towards the far side. Go to the Roadrunners. 87th minute. Long line drive headed forward by Jose Angel Reyes. Line drive once again. This one will be off the scoreboard once again. That scoreboard is taking a little bit more punishment than I've seen in most recent memory. I believe that's the 4th or 5th time that scoreboard's been hit. scoreboard might have been branded by Timex. Headed high in the air and it was knocked out of bounds. Last touched by a road runner, so it'll be a throw-in upcoming for the Tigers. Clock will be stopped. We'll get things going, kicking right back up. Rappaport will get the throw-in over towards Villapadua, and then a long pass over towards CJ. CJ will get it to Jose Angel Reyes. Reyes will settle it right at his feet and then send it over towards Roque. Will back tap it through the head and will actually go over towards Bell. Just too far for Orendain. Almost lost control, did Bell, and got a little bit of a groan from the crowd. Bell will send it deep, headed by Silos, over towards Roque. Jose Angel Reyes will tap it towards the goalkeeper, Bondre. Bondre had to slide off to his left. 89th minute, minute and a half remaining in this contest, and right now the Tigers, now it's going to be a non-call, and it'll be on the far side. Tigers will just boot it out of bounds, and it'll go out of bounds. Coaching staff will have Bell come all the way towards midfield just to help apply the pressure, and it'll be a throw-in upcoming for the Roadrunners. They've been able to throw it pretty deep. That was as the best way you can call it, classify it was a shank. Well, it's become a wet surface. And a corner kick upcoming. Oh, a wet surface, and then it will be headed in the air. It'll be knocked out of bounds. 25 seconds remaining. A goal kick coming up for Ethan Bondre. They're counting it down. 10 seconds remaining. Bondre will send it. And the Tigers the umpire, the referee was unable to blow the horn. It's become a cold night, and that will end it. But a 1-0 score by the Tigers will give them their second win of the season, as they will improve to 2-3 on the season. And that was once again thanks to an Anthony Orendain unassisted goal in the 66th minute. Tigers had 18 shots, 2 saves, and 4 corner kicks, while the Roadrunners had a lot more of their pressure in the second half. 6 of their 8 shots came in the second half. They also had 3 saves and 2 corner kicks. Those saves went to Detre Bell for the Roadrunners, and the 2 saves goes to Ethan Bondre, who will get the shutout for the evening. Well, for the CSU Bakersfield Roadrunners, they will move to 1-4 on the season. Excuse me, 1-5 on the season after the loss to St. Mary's on the 13th, and then they lost tonight. They will await, or they'll actually head off to San Jose State. They've got a nice little 12-day layoff. They will play, next time that they will play, it will be September 30th at San Jose State at 7 o'clock. While the Tigers, they will enjoy this one momentarily, and then they will turn around and have another contest. That will be this Thursday. We'll get you that against UC Davis at 7:30 right here at Knowles Field. Want to thank Rebecca Sharman. She is the one that has controlled the entire table staff for tonight. She's done a great job, as well as her entire staff. Michael January, the video coordinator and director that brought you the stream, want to thank him as well. And as for myself, I'm Jeff Dominic, saying the final score for the final time, the Tigers will improve to 2-3 with a 1-0 victory over the CSU Bakersfield Roadrunners. Have a great rest of your evening, everyone, and we will see you on Thursday.